Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video I'm going to show you how to revive old and low powered computers by installing Linux Mint. What I am using for this video is a HP Stream laptop that used to belong to my daughter. She's given up on it because it runs too slow. As you can see, this computer was barely fit for purpose for most tasks when it was first produced. It's got a dual core Celeron processor and just 4GB of RAM. Even worse, it only has a 28GB drive. Windows 10 Home S, which is the default operating system, was never really fit for purpose for this device, and with Windows 11 a pipe dream for such a machine, I thought I would bring it back to life by installing Linux on it. There are too many devices like this in the world that were manufactured in bulk by companies such as HP and retailed by every high street store, and many of them will end up in landfill if they become unsupported. These were never designed for gaming or anything heavy duty, and they were meant for simple web browsing, watching YouTube videos and creating documents. Linux is perfect for this machine. Today we will be installing Linux Mint onto it, and this is the full setup guide. Now this guide isn't just for HP Stream users, it is for anyone with a low spec computer who wants to breathe new life into it. All you need is a USB drive, an internet connection and a fair bit of time. We will start off by opening a web browser and navigating to the Linux Mint website, linuxmint.com/download.php. Now as this is a low powered computer, I'm not going to install the flagship Linux Mint Cinnamon edition. I am going to go for the lightweight XFCE edition. It gives most of the same features but with less memory and CPU consumption. I could have gone for the Mate edition, which is also good for computers with low specifications, but I just prefer XFCE. So click on the download link and scroll down and find the location nearest to you and click on the link. The download should now start. Now go to etcher.io and click on download Etcher. This is the tool we will use to put Linux Mint onto the USB drive. Click on the download link next to Windows. Note that if this doesn't appear straight away, press F5 to refresh your browser and try again. I have noticed on older computers that the web page doesn't always load properly on the first attempt. When the downloads have completed, close the web browser and click on the File Explorer icon. Insert your USB drive. Note that all data on this drive will be wiped, so if there's anything important on it, copy the file somewhere else first, not onto the computer that you're just about to wipe, by the way. Go to your downloads folder and double click on the downloaded Balena Etcher file that was downloaded previously. It may take some time to load on older devices, so be patient. When this screen appears, click on Select Image and navigate to the Downloads folder and choose the Linux Mint ISO downloaded previously. Now click Select Drive and choose the USB drive you inserted. And finally click Flash. A message will appear from Windows asking whether you want to continue. Click Yes. And the Linux Mint image will now write to the USB drive. It can take quite some time. This is a two-stage process where it flashes to the drive and then verifies it worked. When the process is finished, you will see this message. You can now reboot your computer. At the point the computer starts, you will need to press the relevant function key to bring up the boot menu. On this HP Stream it was quite tricky. I had to rapidly press the escape button a few times, and then another menu appeared and I had to press F9 to boot from USB. You will now see a grub menu. Choose the first option and you will boot into Linux Mint Live. This is the image installed on the USB drive. Double click on the install icon in the top left corner. A welcome screen will appear. Choose your installation language and click continue. Now choose your keyboard layout from the menu. As you can see, I chose English UK and the default layout. Click continue again. You can now connect to your internet if you so choose, but I don't do this and leave it as I don't want to connect. The process is slow enough on these old machines. I don't want a network issue to cause a process to fail. It is much better to install the operating system and then connect post-install to get updates. Click continue. A screen appears for multimedia codecs, and for some reason it has a greyed out section for secure boot. I couldn't actually click anything on this screen, so I just click continue. At the installation type screen, there's only one reasonable option to go for. You might see something like install alongside Windows on your machine, but in this guide I'm just replacing Windows with Linux, as the drive is so small it would be impossible to dual boot. So I chose Erase Disk and install Linux Mint. This will clear everything on the computer, so if there's anything you want to keep, cancel out of this and back up whatever it is you wanted first before continuing. If you are ready to move forward, click Continue. A big warning will appear reiterating everything that I've just told you, and that your machine is about to go bye-bye. If you are sure you want to replace Windows with Linux Mint, click Continue. You now need to choose your time zone by clicking on the location on the map. As you can see, I chose the UK. Click Continue. Finally, we are at the user setup screen. Enter your name and give your computer a name. Add a username and enter a password you want to associate with that user, and then repeat it in the box below. Click Continue. Linux Mint will now install to the computer, and on an old machine like this it can take quite some time. It copies the files to the machine and then installs them. You can go away and come back in about 30 to 45 minutes. On newer machines it can complete well within 20 minutes. When the process is complete, you can click on the Reboot Now button, and as the machine starts to boot you can remove the USB drive. And you don't really need that anymore, so you can put it in a drawer and keep it safe in case you want to reinstall Linux Mint again at a later date. When you boot into Linux Mint, you will have to enter your username and password, and then you will see this welcome screen. But the first thing you should do is connect to the internet. And you can do that by clicking on this icon and choosing the Wi-Fi network and entering the password. You can now work your way through the welcome screen and do things like install drivers, run updates and install more software. Linux Mint already comes with a good selection to get you started, including a web browser, full Office suite, audio player and an image viewer. That is the end of the video. Your old computer has been brought back to life and has been saved from landfill. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User. Thank you for watching.